for more on this story, we're very pleased to be joined by one of my former colleagues in the House, currently the chairman of the Campaign for Liberty, Dr. Ron Paul. Ron, of course, also the host of the Liberty Report. Ron, thanks for making time here on Newsmax Prime.
Thank you, JD. Good to be with you.
Let me ask you about Hillary trying to make hay off Kevin McCarthy's comments. Will she be successful?
Well, it's hard to say. I would predict probably not, because I think a lot of people will be sympathetic with the trend that Hillary's in, and that is downward. Certainly the Republicans aren't going to complain about it, but it remains to be seen. I just don't know if I have any special insight into that, but I think this will be a story that will soon disappear, but I think the story will remain that Hillary is not doing very well in the polls.
How concerned should Hillary's campaign be of Bernie Sanders?
Pardon me? How is it doing?
How concerned should they be about Bernie Sanders?
No, I think she should be a whole lot because of the nature of what's going on. I don't think Bernie is likely to be the president, but I think what he's doing is pointing out that Hillary is not going to be president either. But who knows what will happen? You know, it may turn out that they'll think a coalition and putting Bernie on as a vice presidential candidate or something like that. But I think, you know, maybe this country is you know, not doing so well for the cause of liberty, but I'm not sure they're ready to pick somebody who is a declared, an honestly declared socialist. In a way, that would be sort of sad. Bernie and I did work on some issues because he didn't like corporatism, which I do not like either. But at the same time, he was you know, into that socialism where government should take over. And I'm hoping the American people can sort that out. The big problem with us who defend the free market is that they challenge us, and the shortcomings of what we have is blamed on free markets, and yet it's corporatism. And that was the reason at times I could work with Bernie on these issues. And corporatism is quite a bit different. So
well, let me pursue that, Ron. Corporatism in terms of the campaign for the speakership of the House. There's Kevin McCarthy, who is the majority leader, obviously well affiliated with the establishment and K Street. But meantime, your organization has some concerns about Jason Chaffetz and his candidacy. Why are you concerned about Chaffetz?
You know, Jason, I've known him for a good many years. We served together, and I saw him as a very decent, likable person. But I was sort of surprised in the last several months, now that he has a more important position in the Congress, that on the three issues that our Campaign for Liberty takes an interest in, because we're a C4 organization, he's on the wrong side of us, and I'm discouraged and disappointed with it, because we sort of like the idea that people have a right to participate in internet gambling and not have a monopoly for a few people who run gambling places in Las Vegas. So he's really working hard against us on that. Then also on internet taxation, that is a big issue. It's a big issue for the internet, you know, imposing regulations on the internet, and also on taxation. But also he sort of, although he has voted with us on Audit the Fed, he's in a position now where he could help us but won't take a position. He's not going to lead the charge for pointing out the dangers of the Federal Reserve System. Of course, that's been something, even when you and I were in Congress together, it was something that I had talked about all along.
Ron, I want to ask you, with this new ad that came out, how likely do you think it is, in the 40 seconds we have remaining, that Kevin McCarthy will in fact become the next Speaker of the House?
Well, you know, that's hard to say right now. I would say the odds are pretty good that he will be and that he'll overcome this. But who knows? It's an unusual year, and there's a lot of agitation going on.
Let me ask it this way, Ron. If you had a vote in the House Republican Conference, would you vote for McCarthy or Daniel Webster or Jason Chaffetz?
Well, without knowing all the details, and I would do more investigations, I haven't looked at it quite like that, but superficially it would be Webster. He would be the individual I think would come closest to what I've tried to do, but I don't want to be held to that to defend everything that he might have said.
All right, fair enough, Ron. We appreciate you answering all our questions. Ron Paul checking in, sir. As always, you have our thanks.